Oops.
Good morning.
Gail has the same problem. So
What the time?
no.
Sorry.
It,
Tijuana time, yeah.
it could be it could be just the camera itself too.
Yeah. Oh well.
Oh,
You can tell
okay.
it's me.
When,
Laptops are notorious for being not great.
Hey, Gail, in your defense, I have my router set up for where is it active, and it's Tijuana because
Oh,
if you set it for Mexico, it allows you to set it for higher output power.
oh, I see.
That
Yeah,
was
So
the
you get,
first thing that caught my eye too, was the Tijuana. My wife was standing here. I'm going, Tijuana time, man. Margaritas, let's go.
yeah, the high power.
yeah, there you go. Learn something every day.
that's okay. I kept trying to get him to call an hour ago because I calibrated my clock, and when I calibrated, it was off by an hour. So I was trying to down an hour ago, like, where is everybody?
You're keeping the place warm.
Uh,
Okay, got a few things going here. I guess the first thing, I'll go with you, Bob, on the KR6JE updates, if you've got
Oh,
any.
yes. Um, Everything on the hill, because we got two hills. Yeah, on
Right.
Piedmont Peak, everything is working okay. Um, we're trying to decide on some instrumentation to put up there. We had believe it or not, we had one of the members make a great observation and suggestion. We're a little bit concerned about the temperature inside the room where the radios and stuff are because there's basically no ventilation and one big metal roll-up door which acts like a heat oven. And so one idea was to put some kind of a weather station in there, connect it up to the internet, and then we can monitor it. And at the same time, while we were up there, we were discussing it might not be a bad idea to have a web camera up there inside that looks at the equipment for several different reasons. So this other member said, why don't you just do it real easy? Go out and get a round thermometer, like a backyard thermometer, and stick it on the rack and let the camera look at it.
Yeah.
And thought, that is not a bad idea. Anyway, I did discover, I was talking with the chief engineer, KSBW, and I asked him point blank, I said, because we lost all the batteries in a UPS that was sitting in the rack there, and I wondered, why did all this stuff die? Because we're supposed to be on the UPS backup power that KSBW has. He said, to the best of his knowledge, everything within the building is backed up by the generator, but the big UPS that they put in only powers up their control room.
Ah,
So there can be a several minute gap between when their trigger stuff senses DG&E is down enough that it wants to start the generator and stuff. But he said, but for you guys, um, run a cable over the raceway and into the control room, and you can plug it in anywhere you want.
cool.
So that being said, I've got all of the electrical box breakers and outlets made up. All we need to do is come up with about at least 75 feet of 10-3 SO power cable, and we'll run it up through the overhead rack and into their control room and plug it in. And then we will be on their UPS. So
Great.
yeah, that's something we need to find somewhere. Somehow we need to get a roll of 10 gauge number three, or three conductor SO cable that we can run over the overhead rack and into their control room. So that's one thing that needs to be done. The other thing is we're looking at putting a Tempest weather station up there so we can monitor lightning strikes primarily because we have had lightning damage, and KSBW is very concerned about lightning damage as well up there. So since we've got the internet stuff there, it's very simple. We just clamp it to a pipe outside and we're in. So that's
Yeah.
another thing. Now, the thing that MCA area should be concerned about is we have an issue that's been going on for a while and it's getting worse down at Williams Hill. And that is inside the military's fenced compound, there is a bunch of brush growing. One of the two propane tanks is almost completely grown over. One of the two generators, the air intake end of the generator is covered over by brush. And we cannot get anybody to do anything down at Fort Hunter Liggett in terms. The problem is it's inside the fence compound. It is military property and area. They have to authorize either somebody else to go in there and remove the brush, or they have to take members up there and do it themselves. And so far, Alan King and I cannot get anybody to respond down there. It is a dangerous situation for the equipment, not just ours, but the military stuff that's in there as well. It was expressed to us that it may not be considered much of a concern because the building is a concrete block building, which is an ignorant statement to make because it'll act like an oven and fry stuff on the inside, let alone melt the coax and cause an explosion with a propane tank. So Alan is trying to get a hold of directly the base security officer who is responsible for fire protection operations on the base. We're trying to set up a meeting, say, look, we'll take bodies up there if we have to, but you got to let us go in. Somebody's got to go in and clean that brush,
Yeah.
or there is going to be something bad happen.
Yeah.
As I said, the one of the big main propane tank, it's one of the 8-foot long propane tanks, about a third of the tank is completely covered over by brush.
Yeah.
So that is the immediate issues that we've got right now. Functionally, the repeaters are working okay. It's a lot of the peripheral stuff that we've got to take care of, and we got to figure something out down there to get somebody to respond to that brush up there.
Yeah.
So,
Well, yeah, like I mentioned to you on my email, I'm going to connect with the emergency manager down there and see who he would suggest to contact or
yeah,
if there's any way that we have a concern about a hazard, so fire hazard.
we've tried to
Well,
contact with the property manager, the head guy in the security office. Alan's tried to contact the fire operations person, and we've gotten nowhere. Nobody seems to be able to get anything done.
Yeah.
So,
all right. How about you try and reach the commander of the base as
right?
one option.
Yes.
Express, and it's not, I wouldn't address it as a fire hazard. I would address it as an explosion hazard that could take out their communications. That
Yeah,
bunker is not going to stand up to a propane bleam that decides to take out the top of the hill.
and
Uh,
that's only one of the tanks. There are two big ones up there in that compound.
but if try, I don't know, he or her first, and then whoever the emergency managers down in that place tend to rotate through every couple of years.
Yes,
So,
that's part of the
um,
problem.
But I would try reaching to the commander to start with and work your way down from there, whoever he or she might suggest.
I think
But
Alan is doing that, but
Okay.
I will remind him of that option.
the
Okay.
other one is uh well, you don't want to do that because then you're going over their heads. You could literally go to the above and beyond whoever's responsible for that army garrison down there, other than the commander. And
Yeah.
that'll piss off somebody if you go over their head.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
you can do that, but I won't do that.
Yeah.
but it's just if they've got critical communications, particularly if they're doing the drone operations and stuff down there,
Yeah.
um, they could lose that entire facility if
Yes.
it is not up kept up. And yeah, I would start at least that route and then work your way down from there.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
So anyway, that's the KR6JE updates. We got physical work on Williams Hill and we've got electrical work on Fremont Peak. But other than that, the hardware is running good. And the next time we are on the hill, we will upgrade the output power of the 441.45 repeater um, up to, if I recall my math correctly, we will be back up to about 75 watts ERP coming out of the end at the antenna.
I
Cool.
want to back you up to your comment about the monitoring the temperature. Do you have any kind of protection on your equipment to shut it down if the temperature exceeds X?
At the moment, no. We are looking into that. That we several of us on the tech team have talked about, what do we do in there?
I can't even imagine. I know how hot it gets down there, and I mean, with the issues that we've had just with GGF up above Morgan Hill, we know, and it's 105, 110 here in the valley. It's
Right.
warm up on that hill, and the other the other question I have is one is, okay, do you have anything to monitor that? You really need to put that in place. Do you have any kind of notification system that tells you when that repeater switches to battery or goes back onto alternate power other than the primary shore power you've got it on?
Um, no, not at the moment, other than the fact that we assumed it never would go off of any kind of line power because it was on, on all of their backup stuff. Then
Well,
that's why we're going to go ahead and shift over and put it onto their UPS.
I would say with Fremont Peak, yeah, you probably have a pretty solid guarantee that they're going to stay up and running no matter what. With down there, I
Oh,
would.
at Williams Hill?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I misunderstood you. One of the things that happened the last time Dave and I went down there to Williams Hill was when the guy opened the door and we walked in. We noticed that the room lights wouldn't come on. And we thought, well, this is strange. What's wrong? And he went over and looked at our repeater and it was running. We thought, well, we got power. And then we figured, oh, you know what? There must be a power outage. And we looked, and sure enough, we could hear other generators on the top of the mountain running. So we knew that PG&E had the power shut off up there. Okay. We have permission from the chief engineer for those two FM radio stations up there to have our repeater plugged into their generator backed up outlet. And when he looked at our repeater, he says, oh, wait a minute, it's running on the UPS. And we thought, well, why is that? So we went, checked outlets, and sure enough, our outlet was dead. And we thought, well, that's not supposed to be, this is supposed to be plugged into a UPS outlet. I mean, a generator outlet. Well, the nice thing was because PG&E was off, anything working inside the room was on a generator. So we went around and looked at the other outlets at one of the radio station transmitters, and we found an outlet that was actually powered up by the generator. So we rerouted our cable over, and we are now on a generator up there.
Now, is
Now,
this Fremont
this
Peak or Williams Hill?
Williams Hill, the Williams
Okay.
Hill repeater is now it is still on, it's plugged into a UPS, but the UPS and stuff is plugged into a generator backed up outlet. Confirmed.
Okay. Well, I would just, you know, if you have the notification, something to notify you when power does switch off to something else other than shore power.
Right.
Um, you probably need to have that because I never make an assumption. We've done it so many times with our two repeaters, particularly the one up on Crystal Peak. Um, you know, we assume the generator is going to work. It doesn't. We assume they have propane to power the generator. They don't. It's
Well,
during the winter. They can't get up to refill the propane tank. I mean, a gazillion things. And
especially if it blows up. Yes. I
well,
understand. Yeah.
or gets overrun by fire. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yes.
And if fire
so
doesn't purge the propane out of the tanks.
well,
Mhm.
that's
Right.
the other.
Pressure and it bleeds off. Yes.
That was my other comment is you can approach your request access to that bunker on Williams Hill, not only of concern for the debris, possible fire causing tank rupture, aka explosion, taking out the top of the hill, but also if it overpressurizes. When's the last time? I mean, how often do they service those tanks and the overpressurized valves on them?
To be honest, I don't think, well, I was going to say I don't think the military guys even know when that happened, but they've got to because they have to go up and open up the fence to let them in. So,
Well, just because you could lose your entire, you may not blow up the tank, but you could lose your entire propane load by just the overpressure
oh,
going off because of heat.
you're
And then you can have one big
you're
torch,
preaching
that's
to the
all.
choir here. I could show you my list of emails that I have been harping on them for some time now, trying to get them to look, guys, you got a bad situation up here.
Well, the other thing is, I think you told me at one time, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to keep going on this, but was it DoD doing drone testing up there?
To the best of my knowledge, this is still happening. They are doing drone research, sensor research out of the Naval Postgraduate School.
Okay, then you could reach the
And
naval postgraduate too and say, hey, if
yeah,
you want to keep your communications up,
the
somebody
drones
better deal with this.
the drones are based at the old Fritchie Field in an old hangar there near where Joby is located. And they fly down the valley and fly around the Hunter Liggett area down there. Data from the drones is relayed up to a secure room vault, if you will, on Williams Hill, and then it is fed back to the Navy Post Grad School. So that's where they're doing their testing, and then they wind up going back to fly back to Marina Airport and put them in the
Okay,
hangar.
well, my point is if they are relying on their communications assets staying operational up there, that's another point of contact that you can make
Yep,
that may help push Fort Hunter Liggett to get their asses up there and clean up the hill.
yep.
So you
So
got two options right
yeah,
there.
I will keep you updated, and we're matter of fact, Alan is going to try and see what he can do on Monday to set up a meeting. And I told him, I said, I will be more than happy to come down there and we will go on base and we'll go sit down and I'll show him all the pictures we've got and say, look, guys, we got to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah, the drone out at Marina Airport there, that's been there for quite a while. I think one of the planes they had a Predator drone front end on it,
Yes, it's still there.
Okay.
It's an old Cessna,
Yeah.
push pull like they used in Vietnam,
Yeah.
and they took the engine off the nose and put a Predator nose on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's still there. Matter of fact, back when I was working at the tube company at Watsonville Airport, we saw it come in and land,
Okay.
and it freaked everybody out.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah. I
Well,
haven't
Bob,
that's where
seen it in a
that's where
while.
that's where
Yeah,
the sensor package is. That's why you just pull the whole front end off.
yep,
Yeah. Yeah.
yep. And they've got bubble windows on the two doors on either side so that the pilot can lean out and look to see the sensor.
Hmm. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
Bob,
good.
Bob, I had one comment, by the way, on the weather stations front.
Yes,
I'm not sure, the camera on the thermometer sounds great, but you won't be able to get any kind of tracking data that way.
that is true.
I mean, one thing I always get concerned about, we have our communications trailer and it's on APRS, but I can monitor the inside of that and check the graphs and even see if it's up and running still based on whether it's been feeding temperature data to me or not. So,
Well, something I put out and I haven't received anything back yet, but if you would, I'm saying, hey, somebody send in some stuff. Let's recommend what we want. We've got a Cat 5 cable sitting at our rack that's got 100 megabit per second up and down on it, at least 100 megabit up and down, and it's all backed up. We just need to plug in and do something with it. And so we need to, what equipment do we get? What do we want to put in? Um, and they said, go ahead. Just matter of fact, the last time we were up there, we went into the control room and it was already plugged into the router and labeled, and I mean, they hooked it up and said, here, use it. So, you know,
Hey, Bob, what you might want to do is reach out to Ray Zach. He's been
who?
looked Ray Zach, Morgan Hill AEC. He's kind of the techie that's taking care of both our repeaters, both in Morgan Hill and the one up on Crystal Peak.
Can you send
And
me
he's
either
looked.
a
I'll send
text
you his
or an
contact.
email? Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I'll
will
send you
do
his
that.
contact. And he's been looking at temperature sensors and so forth up there because, like I say, we've run into some temperature issues. And he just did a great job tracing down a significant noise issue that we had that literally would take the repeater, our 2 meter repeater offline.
Yep,
And
yep.
it turned out to be, what was it, a battery charger, Tim, on
mm,
something else, and it
on a
was
marine battery.
yeah, it was transmitting all that interference back up the power feed line to the repeater.
Oh,
Mm.
okay.
And I mean, they went through and did all sorts of shit. Gary uh, is also doing a bunch of stuff in the EOC up there in terms of basically trying to take noise out that they're getting from probably some of the public safety radios, etc. Um, I've already had to deal with that crap. But yeah,
Yeah, well,
Ray's got lots of good information on what he's trying to do or thinking about doing with the temperature recording
awesome.
slash sensor slash alerting
Yeah,
alerting
copy
us.
me on it and
Okay.
on him, and I will definitely make contact with him.
Okay.
Because we should do something. Now, one last item, and this is not necessarily with the repeaters, but something I've been talking with a bunch of local hams around here, and I speak from actual experience. This has happened to me. And that is Santa Cruz County is are working towards putting in a new communication system for government stuff. And you know what happens when you make things complicated. The more you make it complicated, the easier it is to get everything screwed up. Well, that is the path they are heading down. And it is very obvious that they are going to have more problems than they know what to do with. The reason I'm saying all this is because when a couple agencies here in the valley ran into some communication problems because digital stuff went away and stuff, I found a local police officer at my front door knocking on the door and saying, your presence is needed at the local hospital now. I will follow you there, or I will give you a ride there if you want. The reason I say that is because we all have amateur radio licenses and we think of them as amateur radio. They are federally issued radio licenses. And if everything goes crap and all of a sudden they can't start talking, they have every right to come along and basically draft you because you have a federal radio license and say, you're the best thing we've got. You will come with us. It has happened. Okay. Me once, but in this area, it's happened twice. So all I'm saying is remind everybody to keep their stuff working. And if radio stuff starts getting complicated, you got a lot of managers who have no idea what they're doing, and trying to sell something that sounds really good and makes them look powerful. And we can be at the bottom of the barrel. So
Oh,
that's the end of my report.
Okay.
having survived two fiber cuts and worked fiber cuts
Yes.
as the only way of communicating up with county from Gilroy. Yeah, I can attest to that. And
Yeah.
they understand it. Do we wave it in their nose occasionally? Yes, we do. We put it in
Mhm.
front of their face and say, guys, remember, you're all your satellite gear. And after having worked in Monterey, I'm absolutely convinced. I'm waiting for the day that the internet goes down totally for a few days. And
Mhm.
I'm watching all these under 30 somethings running around, well, hopefully not hurting themselves, but trying to figure out what to do and how to communicate with somebody because one, they don't know how to write. Two, they don't know how to read analog. Um, so yeah,
We
I
have
want
that
I want to
problem.
see it happen in my lifetime just so I can sit here and sit back and go, oh wow, this is
Yeah.
cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have that problem right now in the Office of Emergency Services. I'll say what it is, but then the OR3 office
Mhm.
in Santa Cruz County, that with the exception of one individual in there, they don't even know that Santa Cruz County was involved in an earthquake, let alone what went down, what broke, what didn't work, and how
Mhm.
long it didn't work. Not to mention the fact that they weren't even born then.
Yeah.
But if you're going to take that job, I would think that if you possess some form of intelligence that qualifies you for that job, that you would do some research into what kind of things can I expect to have to deal with for this job. And they don't know that we had an earthquake that was as bad as it was. So
Well,
that's why I'm saying just it's getting worse and we need to be prepared.
it
Yeah.
just you and I've had hours of discussion about this, Bob.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And offline, not on here, but offline. Trust me, we've had many conversations about it.
Yeah.
Um, Add that to the fact, I'll give you our situation here in Gilroy. We're building a brand new city center. It is going to take our primary tower, which is the one that we can reach pretty much any of you and north of us. They're going to take the tower down and they're going to razz the entire facility, I don't know how many acres it is, except for the police department and the library. But they have no plans in place yet to do anything to put back a tower in place for public safety, let alone amateur radio.
Wow.
And so when we're down, I'm sourcing in fact, I'm looking for a functional, at least uh, anywhere from a 75 to 100-foot crank up tower that
Yeah.
we can have at the ready to put up. And we may even have to put it up just to put the public safety radios on it while all this construction is going on, which they anticipate
Right.
taking 3 years.
Do you need to get a tower? Will you
Um,
be looking for a tower?
their eventual plan is to put in a permanent tower, but what I'm
Okay.
looking for is during the construction period, having something that one, we can have in an emergency, and two, we can have just a function.
Okay, I can tell you where you can probably find a 50-foot crank up tower in excellent shape for free.
Okay.
N6OOD, Bob, who passed away recently in Salinas, he has one. It's cranked down, but it's beside his house, and his wife needs it gone.
Okay, I'm looking more for a portable one than one that's fixed base.
Well, put it on a trailer.
I understand. I'm not laughing at the suggestion. It's
I'm just
just,
saying you would be helping somebody out, and that and tower has been sitting there for some time, so it's available.
I can go up to VVA's place, and he's got 3 or 4 towers that he's been trying to get rid of. So
Okay.
I get no, thank you. But like I say, we stumbled upon, and Ray Zek ended up buying it. Was a 100-foot crank up, and I know he's used it for field day, etc. And it's portable. And you guys have used it, right, Tim? Does he bring it down?
For CR Classic last several years, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So, but I'll keep that in mind, Bob.
Hey,
Yeah,
hey, Pat,
just a suggestion.
one other thought.
Yeah.
Make sure they realize that there's a bit of a squatter's rights situation, that if they leave it without a tower for a while, trying to get one back there is going to be a real problem with the neighbors. I'm thinking about like Empire Grade, where they had a tower, they couldn't put it right back up because the neighbors complained, and it's still down. So
Well, I mean, we got the tower because of the SVRA radio project, which is no longer a valid entity, because they wanted to be able to create a mesh network basically between all the towers from North Bay to South Bay,
yeah,
and that's how we got it in place. I don't doubt that we'll have another tower in place, but they're going to put it in place. It's going to be probably right outside the frickin' dispatch center in the police department building, which is
Yeah.
fantastic. And my EOC is going to be 300, 400, 500 feet away, and I'm not going to try and figure out how to do radio communications over fiber and all that entails and money, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There's just no frickin' way.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
my lot in life, maybe if the EOC is activated, we have a crank up tower outside that building, and that's what we use. But
Yeah.
I'm losing, oh, oodles of capability of communicating with people. I've got 2 Yagis at 75 feet on that, a 440 and a 2 meter, and I can swing them in any direction. One of them I can swing completely around and wrap the cable around the mount if I had to. Um, but I can blast over the hill to Santa Cruz. I can blast over the hill to county directly. Uh, at
Yep.
this point, 75 feet is the highest thing in Gilroy. So
Yeah.
there's the only thing is the Santa Teresa Park is the only thing that's in my way in terms of reaching Palo Alto and Mountain View and a few of those cities. But yeah, anyway, so
All
we're
right.
trying to find something portable. So if something comes up, let me know. So you guys
Okay.
hear something.
People
Okay.
ask me how high is my antenna, and I tell them there's nothing higher between me and Honolulu.
That's very true.
That's good.
Oh,
Okay. So thank you for that, Bob and
Okay.
Pat. Let's see. So let's see. The next thing I have, we had Jim passed on we had a new member sign up, uh, but he he doesn't have an amateur radio license. He has a GMRS license. So Jim was asking it, is that okay to have him in as a member? So I said, well, I haven't checked our bylaws, so I'll check that out. And so
Well,
in our
well, you're a
bylaws,
radio, Gail, we're a radio communications club. It should be open to
right,
anybody, including people who want to stand there and yell.
that's
Uh,
right.
so,
And so in our bylaws, it actually covers it. So it says a full membership is for the licensed radio amateur, but we also have in there an associate membership for anybody that's pursuing their amateur radio license and all other interested persons. Um, so that pretty much covers it. And as long as they're interested, then they're allowed to be a member. So that's how we have it in our bylaws. And so I think you, Jim, you already added them to Group IO, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So we're good there.
And just for information on Groups IO, if I get a request from somebody in Massachusetts, I deny it.
Okay.
It has to be somebody living in the Tri-County area,
Yeah. Okay.
Santa Cruz,
Yeah.
Monterey, and San Benito.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Why am I in there then? Thank you.
Well, Santa Clara counts too.
Yeah.
Quad County
Well,
area.
So I
The
shouldn't say
Quad County.
Tri-County,
Yeah.
but I don't want people out of state, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Within a 150-mile radius
Yeah.
Hey,
of your
Gail.
house, of your high antenna.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Gail, as a heads up, FYI, our club for a while there, we tried to do an outreach to try to grow our membership and try to get new GMRS membership signups, and got about a half a dozen, none of which ever stayed around for more than a month or two.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
FYI, they don't have the sticking power, and in fact,
Yeah.
two of them, I put them on Ham Club Online. They pretty much blocked Ham Club Online within the first 2 weeks. So I was like,
Yeah. You
Well,
tried.
it's funny because I've written Let's Talk MCOM. I've written our operational plan such that I'll take a body without any radio experience and put them in a seat as long as I've got a control operator standing over their shoulder, and if they can
Yeah.
learn how to, they got an opposable thumb they can work a mic with,
That's
they're
right.
in.
Yeah.
And and that's what I keep telling county, because they keep trying to make this perfect organization of highly quote unquote qualified or credentialed operators, and I'm going, they're not going to be around when I need them. I'm going to
Just
grab
need
the
a
first body that
warm
walks through the
body and
door.
yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Even
Good.
packet, I can now that Jim Oberhofer has made packets so bloody simple. If they can type, I can use them and to send packet
Yeah.
messages back and forth.
Yeah.
So
By the way,
as long as
I
they
don't
get
know if
graded.
you guys are aware of this or not, but there is now a beta version of Packet and all the other digital modes available for Mac.
Mm.
So if you got it, I've been getting hammered by a friend saying it's available for a Mac. You've got Macs. You have no excuse now. So anyway, that is now available out there. It's been out for apparently about a month. And I read the thing on it. It looks like it's good for about 5 or 6 different digital modes.
Wow.
So
I know,
it's coming.
I know plenty of people who are still running the Windows versions on Macs too. So there's always a way.
Yeah, I did that for a while until Mac came up with an update, and when they did an update, the stuff that I was using to run Windows based on the Mac just screwed everything up, and I says, "Okay, I'm not doing this anymore."
Yeah, but I know
Forget it.
there's been like this is like the third wave of people getting things compatible, but I
Yeah.
hear I hear it's working if you if you pick up the latest one. But anyway,
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, and I don't know how many people realize this, but the software company, oh crud, what's their I keep thinking of RST, but that's not it.
RT Systems?
RT
No.
Systems, yes. RT Systems made a deal with Apple. Believe it or not, Apple has put stuff into their firmware on a lot of the recent Apple laptops and stuff. if you take an RT Systems cable and you plug it into your laptop, it automatically knows it's there,
Hmm.
knows the drivers it needs. It just you just plug it in and it works, and it knows it's there.
Well, that's
Um,
good.
it is real impressive. Matter of fact, I talked with them. I said, "Am I missing something, or did you guys?" They said, "Yeah, we negotiated this big deal with Apple. Matter of fact, it was Apple that contacted them.
Hmm.
Said, hey, would you guys like us to put you into our new OS?" And so yeah, you plug it in and you can watch it. It just knows it's there.
Yeah, that's
Cool.
good.
So anyway,
Good. Okay, the next thing I have is about the South County power shutoff. I guess there haven't been any issues or anybody heard anything more?
oh, Alan told me yesterday while we were talking about the fire stuff that he was monitoring down there because PG&E said they were going to shut power down,
Yeah.
and they apparently never did.
Oh, that's good. Yeah,
So,
we had a
and he's
couple up here in Marina.
right. He was wondering why they didn't do it. Matter of fact, he went back and contacted somebody, and they said, well, somebody made the decision that they just weren't going to do it.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Okay, good. Um, the next thing I have is that I received an email from Justin Lynn at our Monterey County Emergency or Department of Emergency Management. Uh, he was offered a new position. I think it's in Cupertino.
He is the
Yeah,
Cupertino emergency manager.
yes. Yeah, he started
God help
Wednesday.
Cupertino. We are sending all available resources to that sinking ship.
So, well, we already got transferred over to Devon uh, in there. So I'm going to be working with Devon, and at least he's got some little knowledge about radio. So, and that's one of the things on my list is I'm going to be working with Devon about setting up a plan of how we can get our ID cards updated and that kind of thing. And we need to get into the office to be able to update our radios. I know
Gail, you
that,
need to get into the office to get the radios even installed.
yeah.
Yeah.
When
Well,
they
we
pulled
have
them out of the when
no. Well, they didn't do that improvement that they were going to do. I found out.
uh that's not what I was told, and my
Oh, really?
contact I think is in there on a weekly basis. So as far as I
Okay.
know, your radio equipment was ripped out because they put offices back where the radio room was.
Okay. Well,
So your stuff is probably sitting in a big ass box.
yeah. Because Devon said something about he's been wanting to inventory all this stuff, and then I sent him the list of inventory we did while under Justin. So
I would be
okay,
willing to bet that you do not even have the jack from the roof came in at the back side of the radio room,
right.
and all the antenna connections were off of that. And I would be willing to bet that they probably either disconnected or coiled and shoved them up in the ceiling, the cables themselves, or they physically disconnected them, and you have no cable drops at this point, wherever they're
Well,
going to put you.
I was a part of a meeting when they were talking about it with the radio guys, and they were going to drop it into the next room, which was the old supply
PIO.
room, and they were going to
No,
convert the supply room into a conference room for logistics. And
and
so
they're going to put the radio room in there.
they were going to put the drop for the coax in there, and then we would have
But
radios on carts. That
oh,
was
good
that
luck.
that was the plan. So So that's yet to be discovered.
What genius thought of that one? Because you cannot have an operational conference room and radio communications going on at the same time.
Exactly. Luckily, we have
Well,
headsets already.
no, it won't work, Gail. 100% it
Yeah,
will not work. I know what
yeah,
that logistics conference room looks like when they were activated.
yeah, yeah.
Suggest to Devon that he goes back, and if Justin, in his infinite stupidity, didn't throw it away, there were plans to take the PIO area, split it in half,
Right.
wall it off, and that back half that they created would be the radio room.
Yeah.
It would be isolated in itself, but the thing that made it unique is we had two doors. You had one into the hallway and one into the EOC.
Yeah.
And the one in the hallway allowed you to come in without having to get into the EOC and still go in and do your thing. It
Right.
had to be unlocked from the EOC to allow you to egress into the EOC.
Yeah.
I'm the one that designed it.
Yeah. Okay.
And those plans were still there if Justin hadn't done anything with them. And that
Yeah.
is the best of both worlds because they never needed that full PIO room.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Okay. I'll add that to the list. And then the other thing was, I know I put out an email a few months ago about uh, who was wanting to be part of RACES. So we have a lot of members that want to be a part of ARES, but we don't have a lot of people that want to be activated. So um, so I'm going to probably have to. I can't find my email of who was. Think I got about 6 people, which is enough to where we could swap out people if we're there for a day or two. But so that'll come down to who we need to have backgrounded and that kind of thing. Um, so I need to revisit that. I know, Jim, did you reply that you were willing to do that?
I can't remember if I did or not, but if I didn't, add me to the list.
Okay, I got you down there. And I know Liam did. And so there was a few others that uh, I can't remember and I couldn't find. I have to search my email again. So, um,
Well, I know I wouldn't be allowed back in the building. So,
well, by the time that comes around, everybody will be replaced anyway. So,
God help you. Well, my first allegiance is here to Gilroy, but if
yeah,
something breaks in Monterey County, I've got more familiarity with how everything operates down there,
yeah,
at least
yeah,
as far as OES is concerned.
yeah.
And I wanted to tell you, if Devon can't find that information, give him my contact number or my contact
Okay,
email,
okay,
and I could probably make it magically appear.
okay. That sounds good. That's a good idea.
I I know nothing. I just
Okay,
happen to might have notes.
all right. Okay, that's all I have at this point. Oh, one of the other things I was going to start to look into um, is I'm going to start looking into our nonprofit status. So what's involved and how much it's going to cost us. Now, Pat, you said you had it done by somebody up there, or
The organization that did ours didn't survive COVID.
okay,
However, we quick long story. Um, my volunteers in policing had their 501c3 status revocated, basically revoked, um, because of failure to it fell through the loops, it fell through holes in the cracks in the PD. They
yeah,
failed to supply financial statements, and after about three
okay,
years of that, they basically put you on the bad list.
yeah,
We are in the process of redoing that.
okay,
The initial cost for us to go from the ground up to create a 501c3 was $3,000,
okay,
and
Wow.
Yeah, well, it's more now.
Yeah,
It's costing us $3,000 just to get back in good graces with the IRS. Now it's around, right, Tim's right, about $5,000
yeah,
to have it done. But that's an agency. If you can find a CPA that is
yeah,
familiar with nonprofits, you may be able to negotiate a deal with them.
yeah.
The balloon club that I belong to, we happen to have a balloon pilot slash CPA slash used to work for
Uh,
the IRS, which is
yeah.
even better.
Oh,
Um,
yes.
he did our nonprofit status for roughly about $1,000,
Yeah,
which is most of the filing fees, etc.
right,
So work that angle first, see if there's somebody who is connected
right.
that has somebody that has done this and can do it. Um, if it's not done right, the cool thing about the company that we used here was out of Santa Clara, um, is that they did everything. They had literally all the templates. We just
Yeah,
went through and filled it out. And with the police department, it's a little complicated from the standpoint you have to have a president, a secretary,
yeah. A
and
board.
no, your board can be made up of 3 members.
Okay.
And in our case, it was a police chief, but it was not by person, it was by position. So police
Yeah.
chief, my sergeant, and me. I'm the secretary because I'm the
Okay.
coordinator for the program.
Yeah.
So we wrote it around not whoever, didn't matter what body was in the position. So make sure you
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
it was, they did everything. I mean, they sent us literally templates that we went through and added all the information in it
Yeah.
and sent it back to them. They sent us the completed documentation for review. We critiqued it, sent it back to them. They did all the filings. We gave them the checks, and that was it. And it was pretty painless.
Yeah.
Um, but again, a CPA that does this or has done it for nonprofits and is willing to do it pro bono is even better. You
Yeah.
can find those people. They are out there.
I know a gal that's a lawyer that uh, I used to work with her at Monterey County, and so uh, I don't think she's involved anymore. But I'll have to try to contact her. But I've been
Well, reach
following
out because
this.
the attorneys are a close-knit group of people,
Yeah.
and they know who knows somebody who knows somebody
Yeah.
who probably does this. It's still working for a
Yeah.
living. Um,
Yeah. And she was working for a senior support group in on the peninsula. So she lives down in
yeah.
Greenfield.
Okay.
But uh, but I was also following this foundation group. They do presentations on YouTube, and it goes through all the things you need to have together, and all that kind of stuff. And so all these different situations and things. So I've been trying to keep up with some of that stuff. But yeah,
Well, I say
that's
if you can find one person who can do it, they can do it fairly quickly. And it's
yeah,
just a question of getting the IRS off their butt to
yeah,
to move quickly on the paperwork
right.
and pay the fees.
Yeah,
I wouldn't put the word quickly with IRS. I'm sorry.
yeah, right.
Well, we have been trying and get us back in good graces. We've been trying, and I have a gal that works at Google who is used to dealing with bureaucracies. She's one of their communication specialists, and she has been trying to work with the IRS since October of last year, and they just will not move off the dime. And the state
Yeah,
is going, hey, you get the IRS to at least get their butts moving, and we'll do everything you need to do. Because the state actually
yeah,
is the harder one to go through to get everything. They're a little bit more picky
yeah,
than the IRS is. But they're just telling us, get the IRS to move and really agree to move forward on this, and we'll do it too. So
yeah, yeah.
You
And it,
definitely need patience. It takes a while.
yeah,
it does. It does. It took
yeah,
us 6 months to get from start to finish on just 501(c)(3) from the ground up.
yeah.
If I recall, ours took about a year and a half to 2 years.
Wow.
Oh, did it? Wow.
Because
Well,
it's one of those things. Oh, this one field needs to be updated and corrected. We don't,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
okay, we did the 2 character correction, and it'll take 6 months to review it. It's just,
Right. Okay. Well,
I fed him and didn't let him out. Sorry.
that's all I got. Anybody have any comments or questions or?
Gail, if you're
Anything,
going to move races forward, you gonna do it locally, or also going to coordinate with state?
what was that?
Are you going to do it work with the Cal OES on that, or are you just going to do it for local Monterey County?
Monterey County.
Okay.
You mean as far as just our organization or?
Well, as far as yeah, if you could do races, you also got if you're going to coordinate with Cal OES,
Oh, yeah.
they want a whole nother set of paperwork that I know we had to go through, which was
Oh,
real
okay.
that was a pain in the you know what too.
Yeah,
So
right.
wasn't quite
You,
that bad, but then again, all the people we worked with are passed away or retired now. So
and
Yeah.
I
if you think working with GEM is a pain in the ass, try working with Cal OES.
Yeah.
They're
I've been,
they're even worse, and their turnover rate is even higher.
oh, yes. Yeah.
yeah. Well, they're like
Yeah.
a lot of us. They're all aging out, you know.
That's right.
So
Speak for
That's right.
yourself.
86 KCU laws.
Oops.
So yeah,
Sorry.
so yeah, I'll probably have to deal with them too. So
I don't see a dark-haired person in this whole video.
mine's hidden. Mine's hidden under
Hey,
my microphone.
I don't have any periods, so I'm the
Yeah.
bald one here.
Exactly.
So
Well, Tim,
okay.
I got a question for Tim. What would be the advantage of working with Cal OES?
That's what I was told. I don't know. That's what the path that our emergency manager at the time went through. So
Yeah.
I don't see any advantage from a races organization to working with Cal OES other than to say, hey, tell us the pathways you want us to communicate with you, and we will. But other
no,
than that,
we're coordinating on the sheriff's program, and we got a nice sheriff's grant out of it, and got all
well,
set up with that. So I mean, we've got what $60,000 worth of communication hardware that we got through that grant. So
Oh, good.
hey,
didn't hurt.
cool. Okay.
Yeah,
There's
we
a
need a new
benefit.
HF. We need a new HF radio. We may
Well,
need more than that if
the Codan one they have for the sheriff's program is really really nice. So
Well, see,
well, we
you're
missed out
unique
on
because you
the
work.
there was
I was going to
a
say,
grant that they had they were providing commercial HF radios for that one program.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I think.
Yeah.
the shares.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gail, let me give you an update on Imbara.
Oh, yeah.
Um, most of you probably, I know Bill knows all about it, but the N6IJ building has been yellow tagged, and as of, I think around the 1st of August, it's going to be red tagged,
I
and
heard
we
that.
won't be allowed in the building anymore. So
That's
today,
August
as soon as
25th.
I get done with this meeting, I'm going over to help them pack things up to move out into a container that they've ordered that hasn't been delivered yet.
Yeah.
But the also they're doing some ham radio license testing on the last Thursday of this month. And it'll be held where you work at the American Legion in Marina.
Yeah.
Why is it being red tagged?
Um,
Re-
Number
re-
one reason is doesn't have ADA accessibility. There's no running water. There's no flushable toilet. The sewer doesn't work, so we can't flush the toilet.
And they found the porta potty unacceptable, as I heard.
And yeah,
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
or even trying to get an ADA porta potty.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
one of the big, huge
yeah,
square.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
One that you can wheel a wheelchair into.
Well, you got the
But
one from Alan, right?
yeah, Alan got the regular one, but that's not ADA.
Yeah.
So we finally they've done testing on the building and they found it has no asbestos, but it does have some lead-based paint on
Oh,
the
the lid.
outside.
Yeah.
So anyhow, supposedly, I'll believe it when I see it. Supposedly, the city's going to do it's a city building, the
Yeah.
city marina. Supposedly, they're going to be doing some work once we get out of there, but they admit they have no funding for it, so chances are it ain't going to get done.
Yeah.
Uh, the remote ham station is being moved to what's called the Alpha Shack, where
Okay.
they have a GMRS repeater in the Alpha Shack.
Oh,
So they're
good.
moving the remote hams out there. So remote hams will stay operational, but all the other stations will be off unavailable for operation.
Yeah. Well, good. Yeah, thanks for that.
So you
Because
got anything to add?
I have nothing. Anybody else?
Sid,
Okay. That's all I have. And then let's see, I think next month is on the 15th. So we'll have further updates then. So
Okay.
thank you for checking in, and we'll see you down the road here. Thank you.
all right.
Thanks,
See you later.
Okay.